Hi, I'm Chris Ryan, welcome to the Forest of Arden. We're talking in this video about how to start your downswing, and we're talking about a pressure shift. Now this is something that many golfers are aware that they need to do, but there's unfortunately a little bit of confusion about maybe the best way to do this. We're going to talk a little bit about that in the video, give you some ideas and some concepts about how you can shift your pressure better to start your downswing and why that will ultimately help you hit some better golf shots. So I'd certainly say that pressure shift is a fairly hot topic at the moment, and certainly if you're searching on YouTube for instructional videos, you're going to come across a lot of videos talking about pressure shift. And really what we're talking about is kind of how you move your pressure and your weight through the golf swing. So as a pretty good guide, we would look at trying to shift 80% of your pressure under your trail leg in the backswing, and then into the downswing we're looking at about 80% of pressure into this lead leg. Now for many of the golfers who don't strike the ball as well as they'd like, they're often aware that they feel, or they're aware that they need to get more pressure into this lead side as they start down, believing that that's going to help them get a much more desirable impact position. And they're probably about right. It would often lead to some of those better impact conditions. How we do this and how we shift the pressure is key. Now for this video, I want you to think about what we call your upper and your lower centers. And just for the purposes of this, we're going to talk about your lower center as where your belt buckle would be, and your upper center as where the buttons on your shirt or the zip on your top might be. So pretty much where my sternum is and pretty much where my belt buckle is. And we're going to look at the upper sternum and how that relates to the lower. Sorry, the upper center relates to the lower center. Now what I really want you to try and feel is that when you start your downswing and you're trying to apply more pressure through that lead side, you're keeping your upper center above your lower center. So what might that look like? Well, as I get to the top and I try and apply some pressure, you can see how when I do that, I'm pretty much trying to keep my upper center above my lower center. This is going to do a couple of things. One, it's going to allow me to transfer the pressure correctly, but it's going to mean that I'm in a much better place to deliver the golf club with that desired handle forwards, slightly de-lofted club head, descending angle of attack off the middle of the golf club, give me those feels that we're after. What I will also often see a golfer doing is believing that a pressure shift will come from mainly a bump forward of the hips. Now, unfortunately, what we tend to see there would be as a golfer gets to the top and they believe that the hips going forwards is the best way to shift pressure, we would tend to see how the lower center gets very much ahead of the upper center. I've got an excessive amount of tip to my right hand side. I have maybe put some pressure onto the left side, but I'm going to find it very difficult from here to deliver the golf club. I'm probably going to find that I hit ground early. I'm probably going to find that I do struggle to get that handle forwards because my lead shoulder is effectively too high relative to my trail shoulder. So believing that a pressure shift comes from the lower body or the ground up is correct, but we have to believe, or we have to understand that the centers, the upper and the lower, have to stay what you feel is directly stacked above each other, which is going to help you generate some good leverage from the ground as you go through to the finished position. The golfers who have too much of this slide, where the lower center gets ahead, if they do have that push that we would like through impact, we'll often find the push will send them backwards away from the target. And that's very difficult then to get the impact conditions that we would want. So really simple. Start this without the golf club. You can put the golf club on the floor, you can put it wherever, and just start to believe or start to get an idea of what it would feel like to start to shift that pressure using your lower body, but feeling that your centers stay a little bit more aligned. We would tend to see the upper and the lower center staying very much more in line with each other as the golfer moves into the downswing. Through impact, we would now tend to see the lower start to push out forward of the upper. But this would happen from impact to post-impact as opposed to start the downswing. So now you can see my belt buckle is out in front of my upper center, but that's more happening through impact. So upper above lower, start down, keep it there. And now as we hit the golf ball, we can now start to get that lower center pushing out more to that nice extended follow-through position. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me go ahead and hit one. I've got a 6-iron here into this 12th. I think I've got enough club, but we'll soon find out. Okay, so that felt pretty good. Strike was good. You can see divot was target side of the golf ball, which would suggest that I did get some of those impact conditions that I really want. The key thing there was trying to keep my upper center above my lower center for a little bit longer into the downswing. That helped me transfer pressure in the correct way. So hopefully that is helpful to you. If you did like the video, give it a thumbs up. That really does help me. Also, use the comments box. Let me know what you thought about that video. Did it help? Has it cleared up maybe some of the misconceptions around shifting pressure? And last thing, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click that link down in the description box. It'll just mean you get a notification each time I upload a video. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you back here again soon. Thank you very much.